Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're going into the ruins to hunt the worm, bringing our Green Falchion, and that's pretty much it on this Warlock melee build. So the whole setup is you use the Phantomize, whatever it's called, to escape or get close to enemies, and then hit Flow of Corruption and smash them in the face. I will just say this is before some of the Falchion nerfs, so you won't be hitting quite this much with the green anymore, but it's still very strong if you get into the blues or purple territory with that weapon. There's something extremely satisfying about Blow of Corruption. Doesn't matter what weapon you use it on, longsword, falchion, bardiche, you name it. It hits hard, and it's hilarious seeing rogues or any other class fly through the air as their soul is pretty much consumed by Blow of Corruption. Maybe it's not really consumed rather than just destroyed. Not really sure how that works. But we get a kind of cheeky spawn here with start really close to worm. Which means we can just kind of hang out. We hear a guy pitter-patter around, and we're going to let him go down underneath, which I hope he does. And then we can kind of spring our trap on him and smash him in the face. Just want to thank you all. I just passed 3,000 subs. I'm currently away on vacation. But this is an exciting run and something I've been saving and waiting to share with you. I will try to go live on YouTube or something along those lines soon to pay you guys back for some of the support I've been getting. But for now, we're in this, and we're trying to fight our way out of ruins as a solo player. Don't hear anything from this distance until you step a little closer, and then you hear the worm. So this guy's in there trying to solo the worm, and I think it was a rogue, so he could be fairly weak. And this is our time to shine. This is what I built this specifically for. And by built this, I mean I literally bought a falchion from the vendor and went in with pretty much nothing. But we'll see how we do. I think he knows I'm up here, because things have kind of slowed down, but we're going to pop our Phantomize and do a quick little peek to see what's going on. We hear him trying to attack us, which you cannot do. And now it's weak point versus Blow of Corruption. That rapier stab luckily didn't really do a whole lot of damage, so I'm guessing this guy didn't have the most amazing gear. Maybe this guy's pretty weak, if that's the case. And 2 hits does the job, so he had this thing very weak. He won't be too upset though. We only got a green doublet, which isn't that amazing. And this guy is also running pretty light key farming setup, I believe. Trying to sneak in here as a rogue and just farm worms as much as possible. Now a little bit concerned. I thought I heard steps above me. I'm gonna turn some of these lights off while we loot, just in case someone jumps down. I think the hatch is still open at this point, so anyone can kind of enter. You can close it to make yourself a little more secure, which this guy should have done. Of course, we get a mimic. It's pretty much impossible to see, as this is a very dark corner now. Luckily, this Falchion make pretty quick work of this guy. And we get some pants. Can't loot the big chest, which kind of sucks. And so far, this loot has been pretty horrible. And we definitely hear some footsteps up above. It's not a great sign. I'm just hoping they're not interested in worm and they're here for other reasons. But for the most part, ruins is pretty much a worm farming paradise. We're gonna check these last couple chests. Praying we get at least a blue on something. And a weapon upgrade or any gear we can use would be fabulous, as we pretty much have nothing. Even some meds. Well, strength gloves could come in handy, so it's like a 5 or 6 gold upgrade. We'll take it. Now we definitely hear a rogue. I think it must be a rogue up there double jumping around, which leaves me a little bit terrified. Don't really have much choice here. Eventually we do have to leave. Taking a second just to see how quiet it can get. It's pretty terrifying. Like, you can make this place literally pitch black. The light from the moon or sun, not really sure what it is. I think it's a moon on this map. Regardless, it makes this place super dark. Pine Ruins has a lot of dark shadows and bushes to hide in. Could be why rogues like it so much. It's a very nice place for an ambush, which we're trying to avoid. However, the time has come, we do need to get up top and deal with any of these mobs or players before zone starts closing in around us. We're gonna make our way over to the bridge, just to get some space from this worm location, which is very popular. Protection Shrine is super nice. They recently nerfed it as well, so instead of doing 30%, instead of applying a 30% bonus to armor reduction, or damage reduction, sorry, it's only 15. That's only half of what it used to be. But fighter with like 30% on top of his armor, you're literally blocking everything. it's a lot of percent damage reduction you can acquire from that buff. I'm super surprised I have not seen anyone else really at the Worm Cave location. I feel like this is kind of the only reason to go into runes unless you're literally going into the Horde or just to learn the map. It's the most fun part for me so far has been ambushing people or surprising that poor little rogue like we did earlier. Other than that, I don't really explore the map all that much. Checking to see if anyone's been down here. Anything's open. Someone throws a throwing knife at us, and now looks like we have another rogue who wants to get smashed in the face. He goes invis. I hear his little footsteps. Hitting him once, and then follow-up swing with the falchion. Not really sure what this guy's plan was. He had no weapons on him, and he was stealthing in front of me and walking around. We get a super early portal, which if I had decent stuff from the worm, I probably would be taking this, but I'm not too concerned about it. I see an opportunity maybe we can fight some of these guys. He just goes straight for the portal, which was surprising. He leaves this bard behind. I'm guessing wasn't his friend. We hit him once and whiff completely as he falls into like a little hole. And then finally finish him off as both of us were missing quite a few swings. Luckily, my damage won out, and we have a full inventory of meds, but not a lot of time to loot it as more players are pushing us. This was also back when Drum was equipable by any class. Pretty solid change. Pretty okay with that one. It was very silly on Barbarian. Almost didn't make sense that a Barbarian could break down doors with Drum, and really, it's kind of a nerf in its own way to Barbarian, because Achilles Strike was more easily hit. That arrow surprises the crap out of us, because I literally can't see anybody. So now we have to back off once again, as we heard another portal over here, and we're starting to get to the point where maybe we should start considering leaving, as hearing the bushes close by, it means there's another player. And we're kind of backpedaling, waiting on some of these heals to work. We're gonna pop this portal open to give ourselves an option. Still kind of curious if I can land one more, and before I could even react, he stealth walked into my portal, so here's your typical griefing rogue. Luckily we get another one, however, these players are getting closer and closer. Not hearing anything, I'm quite confused. This is the last circle, and I don't see any players really in the middle of this room yet. There wasn't a whole lot of kills in the kill feed, so there's definitely still players out there scrambling for some portals. We have pretty junk loot, honestly, so there's nothing I'm too concerned about leaving with at this point. We get another rogue and a couple more portals. Equipping our drum, we miss our most important throw. It looks like for the time being he hasn't picked it up, which gives us another chance to sneak in and land another drum throw to somebody's head. That guy takes off as well, as these rogues are literally just darting into ruins. I'm not sure what their plan is, but maybe they get decent experience from a few items and then just disappear. No one's really PvPing. Doesn't seem to be anyone farming the worm, so this is a kind of an odd one. We do get a couple more players that will make this a little bit more interesting as this rogue tries to escape with the portal. Seeing those pots in the darkness means there's more than one guy. We're in for a bit of a fight as someone takes the portal behind us. We pop, phantomize, or whatever it's called, just to be sure we can keep up with this ranger, so he can't get out of reach of our blow corruption, which drops that guy instantly. and a couple follow-up hits with the Falchion, and we once again clean up a few more players. Blow Corruption to the dome, coming out of the Phantom mode, is incredibly satisfying. And it is potentially something worthy of your guys' time to try. Can be a lot of fun in Goblin Caves, can be a lot of fun in Ruins against squishy targets. And sure, these guys weren't the most geared players in the world, but I'm literally rocking a single Green Falchion. It can be a lot of fun. I do think it's probably best we get some purple heavy gauntlets from this guy. I don't know where he found those. That is not a bad find. So you can make it work. I truly believe you should be casting spells with the magical healing. That is what the Warlock does super well. And it is nice that they have 3 skills that are all functional, and people are switching back and forth between the Wraith kind of mode and Blow Corruption. It's your preference. I think the Phantom mode can be very good for pushing targets like Rangers and getting in their face, or it's like a holy shit button that just lets you escape. So I'm really curious what they do with Warlock going forward, because both those skills, in my opinion, are in a good spot already. Now, we didn't do too badly considering we didn't have a whole lot of loot starting out with this thing. Those purple gloves, they actually have some decent stat rolls, so I might be able to trade those right away and see what sort of offers we get. For some reason I picked up the bolts, which I always seem to do. It's either bolts or arrows I'm bringing back with me that I can't trade. Let's just see quite quickly here how fast this bad boy sells. I'm just going to put an offer suggestion, like, I don't know. Guess we'll search up and see what the going rate is. 130 Gs for a green. Probably has damage reduction. Put 150 Gs on these purples. And that seems like a pretty quick trade, so I straight up asked this guy, don't scam me, how much are these worth? And he's nice about it. He at least gives me a few more bucks. But look, that's all for today, guys. I appreciate you. I'm enjoying my vacation, and I'll be back hopefully very soon to create more new stuff for Season 1, or I don't even know if you can call it Season 1, before the wipe on Monday. So cheers, appreciate you all, thank you for the like, subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.